Hello everyone, welcome to the Redmen TV. It is team news time. Apologies for being a few minutes late. We have some technical difficulties. I won't repeat what Tom said, but he has fixed it and we apologise. The team news is out. You may have seen it already, but if you haven't, here's the news. Alisson Becker starts in goal. Left back is Andy Robertson, back in the squad. Virgil van Dijk keeps his place, obviously, because he's the best centre-half in the world. Joel Matip is still fit, can still kick a ball, can still walk. Trent Alexander-Arnold in at right back. DM, Fabinho, midfield. Actually, let's just have a little mess with it. Jordan Henderson, Harvey Elliott. And up top, we're going to have a bit of Sadio Mane, Bobby Firmino, and Mohamed Salah. I will come to them in just a second. We go through the substitutes. We have Queven Kelleher, gone with a one goalkeeper this weekend, for a surprise. Ibra Konate is on the bench. Thiago, Keita, Joe Gomez. Chris is going to go mad at me for not keeping these straight, but Chris isn't here, so it doesn't matter. Oxlade-Chamberlain is back after having a baby. Minamino is back. Jota and Kostas Tsimikas moves to the bench. Loads of talking points I've got to get through. Me myself, Errol will do that in a minute. But for me, it'll be interesting. All the talk this week has been about this man and Lukaku. What we're going to do there, how will we handle him? Will Lukaku go for Virgil van Dijk? Will he choose to go for Joel Matip? Does Fabinho come back and help these two guys out a bit to stop Chelsea getting balls into there? Harvey Elliott, he's retained his place. Can he do it in a bigger side against Chelsea? What will our fullbacks do? We're going to try and contain the likes of Reece James and Ben Chilwell, depending on their team, which we'll do in a minute. But I'm actually really excited about this. I think Harvey Elliott's probably the one, again, for me. A bit of a surprise start. All the talk was probably be a bit more conservative, be a bit more defensive. You've got Jordan Henderson in there to go and do that. But obviously, it's another big stage for an 18-year-old. You think Thiago will be in there. Now, Keita probably hasn't done anything wrong to kind of keep his place. But balls out for this one. And then up top, probably for me, I was having a discussion with Tom before. Do you start Bobby? Do you start Jota? Bobby can do the dirty work in terms of harassing Jorginho. Jorginho's on the ball, pick him out, harass him. Don't give him 5 yards of space to start pinging balls out, because that's what happened against Real Madrid when we played them. You can have him for 60, 70 minutes, then you're bringing Jota on. And again, looking at the bench, you've got a choice of Jota, Chamberlain, Keita, Thiago. People that can change games or see out a game or help us with that as well. Errol, I'm obviously happy. I'm excited. But what are your initial thoughts to that side?
A bit of a surprise, to be honest with you. I'm not going to lie. I wasn't expecting the inclusion of Harvey Elliott. And I think from the conversations we had last week when we was doing the watch along, for me it was more about Elliott being able to be the key that unlocks the low block sides.
Yeah.
This isn't that. This is a Chelsea side.
Just low block.
Yeah, not at all. This is a Chelsea side that are going to come at us. And is he going to be able to have that physicality to deal with some of their midfielders as well? And in terms of that midfield battle, we all know it's a long gone saying midfield is where the game's probably won or lost. So it's going to be a really big test for him today. Yeah. It shows a lot of trust from Klopp and a lot of faith in his ability. And probably the only other one is Bobby over Jota. Jota's been the slotter since, game one. Is it more a thinking of, you can come off and you can still have that level of impact within 30 minutes, 25, 30 minutes. But as you were saying there, maybe Firmino picking up Jorginho and just kind of having him in his pocket might be his thinking, for the majority of the game. And if we can kind of keep him quiet so he doesn't pull the strings, we might have some success being able to get either Mo or Sadio down the wings.
Yeah. It's interesting actually because the Van Dijk Lukaku stuff's kind of dominated the news as I kind of said in the build up all week. Sorry, but I think there's battles all over the pitch. You just said the midfield there, but you can I'm confident in our fullbacks and also wary of their fullbacks at the same time and how they set up. I think I did a show the other day with Rory of kind of saying I think there's a massive level of respect between these two teams. Obviously they're European champions. We love to beat Chelsea. There's kind of like a little mini history there over the past 10, 15 years. But I think you have to be respectful of what they've done in the short time Tuchel's come in. It's a lot different to when Lampard was there. Right. And Chelsea are a different side with a different mentality. So it's going to be tough to kind of break them down.
Yeah, the mentality shift is completely changed in the last 6 months. I think that obviously it's evident with the fact that they've won the Champions League and the European Super Cup. I think from their perspective as well, with having the likes of Lukaku again, sometimes when you get that marquee signing, it is just a confidence boost for the other lads. They know what he can bring. He's a bit of a flat track bully in that sense. They know he's going to bring goals for them. I'm not really, and again, don't clip this, I'm not too concerned about that battle between him and Van Dijk.
Why have you said that before the game's even started, Errol?
No, do you know, in the sense that, like, I don't think he can pose a threat to our back line, because he definitely can. I just think Klopp's probably a little bit too clever for that right now, in the sense where he's more likely to just say, Fabinho, that's your guy for this game. Just make sure he stays quiet, and make sure you just tidying up everything, mopping him up. Don't let him get those touches in and draw people into the way he plays, so that he can knock it round. You just literally cut off all of the lanes that he wants to pass into, cut them off, stop him from being that focal point for them, and he might be a little bit blunt. It'll be interesting to see their team as well.
Lovely. Nicely teed up, Errol. We're getting into the swing of this now. I've got it here. Do you want to know what it is?
Go on.
Okay. Mendy in goal, Aspilicueta, Christensen, Rudiger and James. Jorginho, Kante, Alonso, Mount, Lukaku and Havertz. On the bench, they've got Kepa, Chilwell, Chalobah, Thiago Silva, Kovacic, Loftus-Cheek, Hudson-Odoi, Ziyech and Werner. So, again, plenty of options, plenty of depth, plenty of options. But I guess let's talk about the midfield, actually, because I think that's interesting. You're talking about Fabinho dropping off and sitting deep and kind of taking up Lukaku. I suppose you've got Jordan Henderson to kind of do a bit of Fabinho's job, in a sense. If he's on Lukaku, then there's threats there from Mason Mount, Kai Havertz. Jordan Henderson's, that's what you want him there for, and particularly in these big games, not only do you get that, you obviously get his leadership and he's barking in people's ear. He's gonna have to help Fabinho do his own job, but also guide the likes of Harvey Elliott in this game as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of movement in that midfield for me today. It's going to have to be very fluid, I think, in terms of how we approach the game. Because as you said there, I think you're right in the fact that, or what we've kind of both said, Fabinho's job probably will be to make sure Lukaku has a quiet 90 minutes. Whereas the likes of Jordan Henderson, he's got to then, Kante's relentless. Yeah. He's got that engine on him. He is going to be relentless in terms of how he plays. And then Mount, he's been the one that's been able to find holes in this Liverpool defence before as well, and he's got a bit of pace behind him. So it's interesting, really, because I think usually we'd have a little bit more control in that midfield. I'd say there'd be a little bit more of a passer in there, or someone who can kind of pull the strings. But it looks like we're just trying to match them toe for toe. We're just going to go, all right, that's what you're going to go with. This is what we're going to go with, and we'll see who comes out on top.
This in a nice or possible way. Is Harvey Elliott a risk in this sense? And that could be, well, obviously we'll find out. Yeah, exactly. We'll find out at the end of the game. But also, I think you mentioned this last week, of he's an unknown quantity. Yeah. To Chelsea, look at that team sheet and probably expecting a Thiago. Not that you can stop him doing a lot on Naby Keita, but when it's Harvey Elliott, that says to me we're going to commit another body forward. We're going to ask questions of the defence. We saw it in pre-season of, we've got the front three, but then you've got an extra body. Well, Harvey Elliott can go forward because he's got, obviously, some decent defenders behind him.
Who's going to take that responsibility of picking up this unknown quantity? And you think, oh, well, I'll focus on, marking out Jordan Henderson, or we'll put two men on Mo Salah or something like that. And they forget about this unknown quantity that is Harvey Elliott, and he can just spark into life within the space of, give him half a yard. You look what he was able to do last week in terms of how measured he was on the ball and how much control he was able to kind of get once he started getting going. It's a risk, but I think what I like about this Klopp side, it shows there's a little bit of a little bit of bravery in here. The fact that we're throwing him in front of a packed Anfield crowd. The crowd again are going to make this kid feel 7 foot tall. Yeah. They're going to make him feel a lot larger than life in that respect. And then on top of that, it's early doors, so I'm not going to talk about like score predictions or points at this stage of the game yet, but it's like,
I was just about to ask you score for it.
But no, it from my perspective, it's just why not try something like this now? Because there are so many games that we can make up any potential lost points or whatever it might be. But why not give this guy a chance and see what he's going to be capable of? It was interesting to see that the Champions League draws came out this week. So there'll be all these things that are going to slowly start to get factored in terms of how we rotate our team. Yeah. How much of a rotation option can he become? And games like this will be able to set the bar for him, really.
Yeah, I'm loving the positivity in the comments as well. 1982 Dean says, I'm surprised Elliott of Kate, to be honest, but I can kind of see logic behind him. Plus, they might like to take a nibble at him, thinking he's weak, which is what Burnley tried to do. Yep. There was another one which I've just missed. But there's loads of positivity behind Harvey Elliott. He's proved himself against the likes of Burnley.
He's fearless,
and I quite like that. The other talking point, I suppose, we touched on it there, was kind of Bobby for Jota. And me and Tom were kind of talking before, and I said that to Tom. I can see the logic in Firmino starting. And it's funny that you mentioned rotation there. Klopp's also got to keep these people happy, and it's mad contrast to last season of we said this, just whoever's fit play. Now he's got options off the bench or starting 11 headaches. Not only he's got to maintain their fitness, but he's also got to keep morale happy. Now Jota the slotter, like you've rightly said, like you can't think of a reason why he wouldn't start this game. But equally, all the front four scored, so Liverpool are in a really good position going into this.
They've all got that little bit of form, and that's what you want from your forward line. You want them to have as much confidence, because especially when you're going to be the number 9 or whatever it is, and you're going to be relied upon for the goals and that output. You need that level of confidence, and the fact that they've all scored, it just shows that they're all in a good vein of form at this moment in time. And whoever, I don't think anybody would have grumbled if it would have been Jota, for 50 minutes, 60 minutes on the pitch. People would have got behind that. So I think Klopp's kind of got a bit of a luxury for a change. He probably hasn't had that option available to him for God knows how many months now. And from a purely fan perspective, it's just great to be able to say, wait, well, if we're going to pull off one of the front three, we know we can bring on another guy who's come on and he's already scored 2 goals in 2.5 games so far.
Yeah, love it. I suppose the other talking point there is Andy Robertson. Again, I don't think a lot of people could argue with Kostas Tsimikas. Nope. Just literally bodying Burnley every 2 seconds that he got the chance. A real good shift. I think it was good against Norwich. Obviously 2 assists, but I had a feeling, I said this after the game, I think Klopp said to him, give it everything now because you're not playing Chelsea, because of the position that Robbo was at, he'd start. I think it's huge having Andy Robertson back for this game. Now, he might not have the experience of, fitness or playing a bit against Norwich or against Burnley, whatever, but he knows exactly. He knows his system. He knows his teammates. He knows how big this game is. So if you're Chelsea again,
and his
going,
first game
Christ,
back at Anfield and a packed crowd as well, like he
after his new contract
that.
and all that stuff, yeah.
He just wants it, and I think from a Costas perspective, I think the one thing that we can give the guy a lot of credit for is because Klopp's probably said exactly what you mentioned there about give it your all now because you won't be playing the Chelsea game no matter which way the game goes, but he still took his opportunities.
Yeah.
Next time, we're in this position of either rotation or any sort of injuries or a blip in form.
We're more confident.
As fans because we know what he's capable of now. So he's took that opportunity. So he's just got to sit there now, patiently waiting for that next opportunity he set the bar. Yeah. And once you kind of set that bar in the Klopp team and that system, that's what Klopp expects of you. And I think we've seen it so many times, apart from, 6 months ago where Trent had a little bit of a dip in form. When he came in and set that bar for himself, it was right, well, that's the level we need you to perform at week in, week out, and he was able to do it. Same with the likes of Robbo, same with the likes of Matip. So the fact that back four now is, and with the keeper, is set in stone, and it just allows everybody else further up the pitch to play their natural game and not have to worry so much.
Yeah, including the fullbacks. Shout out to, where's he gone? RG Perez, who says we need Ben Mee, not me. Thank you very much if you joined us last week. I'm not sure what we're going to do today to milk a dad joke out the whole game, but I'm sure I'll come up with something. Just want to touch on the bench again. Errol, I mentioned this last week, and I mentioned it briefly before, but it's difficult in these huge games of have to predict how it's going to go, how Chelsea will kind of set up. But if things aren't going well for Liverpool, and we need to do something different, I enjoy, this is really sad, but I enjoy looking at the bench and going like Konate, Thiago, Keita, Gomez, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Taki, Jota, it's like Tsimikas. Liverpool are in a really good position. I think the point I'm going to drive at, it's really important for Liverpool to keep all those players fit, but also to win this game and head into an international break, which can go one of two ways for Liverpool. You can be buoyed by 3 wins on a bounce and then a break can disrupt your rhythm. Mm-hmm. But I think it's just 3 out of 3. You break this league down into kind of little blocks and go, actually, we've done the first 3, we're done. We're all here, we're all fit, sound, breathe, go again.
Yeah, I also think on top of that as well, when you look at the way Chelsea set up last week and they beat Arsenal, they didn't get out to second gear.
Yeah.
So the fact that you've got a bench as strong as ours, if they decide to go toe-to-toe and they level up, after, it could be a tight game and all of a sudden they're starting to get us under the cosh. We've got options off the bench there that could take the game away from them. And I think that's going to be important as well, how we manage the game. I think we mentioned it last week. Our game management was really good. Mm-hmm. There was little spits and spurts where we thought, they had like 5 minutes where, and you wouldn't say he was on top of us, Burnley, but they had opportunities where, there was a better side and the same opportunities happened. They might have punished us. But in reality, this Chelsea team could easily do that, and they could have large spells of the game where we do have to soak up a little bit of pressure. So from that, looking purely at that perspective, what better can you do once you've soaked up a little bit of pressure instead of just saying, right, let's refresh it now. We're going to throw Jota in there. We're going to throw Oxlade-Chamberlain, who's just going to, burst in midfield, that energy, or Keita.
He'll be the daddy of the midfield, isn't he?
Yeah, man. Literally, there's so many options, but the options, especially this early in the season right now, with them all being fit and fresh, they look like strong options, and you know, you're going to look at that Chelsea bench. They've got strong options as well about how they can change a game. So not only going toe to toe for our 11, but going toe to toe for the substitute bench might just be the extra little bit of sauce we need today.
Hopefully. Just want to say I'm really jealous of this. We've got another live feed at Hotel Anfield. I'm not sure Tom can show it. I can't see whether Tom's going to show it because I can't see the screen. Obviously, lovely and sunny out there. Very jealous for everyone sipping beer. So hopefully we'll get some shots of some celebrations as Liverpool score their third and fourth.
It looks like it's getting busy as well.
Yeah, it's shocking.
Plenty of shorts on today. It is.
Yeah, shorts and shady. Paul's down there, Ben's down there, Sam Walker's down there. Steve, Emma's there.
Sutts is there
yeah,
as well.
James Sutton, everyone but us, Errol. And you guys at home, so thank you for joining us. One last thing for it,
have you started to feel like Cinderella's ugly stepsisters yet? Like
I didn't, so you just told me. Thanks very much, fucking hell.
Everyone else gets to go to the ball, and it's just us,
This is the ball, this is the real... This is not the ball at all, but thank you for joining us. One last thing I want to talk about is the head-to-head with Tuchel and Klopp. Obviously, there's
German connection.
Well, not the German connection, but obviously, Tuchel was at Dortmund. Dortmund knocked him out PSG when James Miller put Neymar on his backside and there. But I think it'd be interesting to see how those two come against each other. And Bobby's. How they come against each other and how they handle it, because they're both very, very good at the job. Is a draw a good result for Chelsea? But Tuchel should be happy with that. Is he going to demand? Because Chelsea have been pretty ruthless so far this season. Yeah. Are they going to go? Well, it's a win.
It's a free hit for both teams, I'd say. To just go for it, measure yourselves. It's an asset test. It's a perfect asset test. We think we could be title contenders, and Chelsea respectively probably think they could be title contenders. Let's have it.
Yeah,
literally.
It's the spirit. That is the spirit,
and that is, as far as I'm concerned, how it should be. You will have, and we've seen age-old pragmatic managers and Jose in the past who just wants to out-tactic everything, even the commentators in every aspect of the game, and just
suck the life out.
Suck the life out of football in itself, and just remove the air from the ball, and just have a dreadful 90 minutes just to say, well, we did what we came here to do, and just spoil the party. But I don't think Tuchel's that way about him. I don't think he's that kind of guy. I don't watch a lot of the Chelsea games, but whenever I've seen them play, they've looked like they're always up to try and take 3 points from the game.
They're not afraid, are they? No, you saw that in the Champions League final as well, actually. Just going to run through both teams again. Keep your thoughts coming. We'll get someone afterwards, and then we'll probably run through when we come back for the live watch. So what Liverpool is: Alisson, Trent, Matip, Van Dijk, and Robertson. Fabinho, Henderson, Harvey Elliott keeps his place. Mane, Salah, and Firmino up top. With a bench of Kelleher, Konate, Thiago, Keita, Gomez, Ox, Taki, Jota, and Tsimikas. Chelsea, on the other hand, have Mendy, Aspilicueta, Christensen, Rudiger, and James, Jorginho, Kante, Alonso, Mount, Lukaku, and Havertz. I can't remember going through their bench, but you can see it there.
One thing it is crucial: we need a good start. Not just like the crowd being up for it, but in terms of the players and not necessarily just in the intensity, but the composure on the ball. And moving the ball properly, and not letting ourselves get into silly positions or giving away silly fouls early doors, just so we can kind of feel our way into the game. I think that is going to be crucial, because you've seen it in the early kickoff today. 2 goals within 12 minutes, and that game was done. Yeah, absolutely done.
Yeah, I was going to say rather not compare us to Arsenal at that point, but I don't want to jeopardise the whole game with my words that come out of my mouth, so I'm not going to bother doing that. Keep your score predictions coming for the game. As I said before, we'll chat some more when we come back for the live watch along, which will be at 5:15. So just around 20 minutes. Yes, in my maths is correct. 23 minutes, in fact. We'll see you there. Keep your thoughts coming. We'll see you soon. Get ready for the game. Are you excited?
I'm very excited.
Are we going to win?
Of course we're going to win.
Okay, that's the spirit. There you go. We'll see you back here for a Liverpool win in 23 minutes. Sorry.
Hey, what's happening? Competition time. Phenomenal, world-class, completely exclusive prize for you guys this month. It is a Jordan Henderson 10 years of red commemorative box. These are not for sale anywhere. You cannot buy these. It has got the book in there. It has got the DVD of the series in there. There is a t-shirt, there is a mug, there is a poster as well. It's a money can't buy prize, and you can win it by signing up to the redmentv.com, a Club Legend level over there as well, or by upgrading your existing subscription to Club Legend as well. It's as simple as that. Not only do you get that incredible competition prize, but you get amazing content streamed exclusively for you each and every month. Documentaries, features, interviews, and bonus Redmen TV shows as well. It is a wonderful experience. It's like Netflix for Reds, and yes, in addition to all that, of course, you get to join our Discord group, which is full of wonderful club legends like yourself, and enter into those competitions each and every month. Join up now, enter the competition to win the Hendo 10 Years of Red exclusive commemorative box, and good luck.